Welcome to Nose Work 1. I know you're not here in person, but we're going to do the best we can to make sure that you still get the full class experience of teaching your dog nose work. Now, the sport of nose work is essentially teaching the dog that they find something with their nose and they get a reward for it. So police officers use this to find narcotics or weapons or even the bad guy. Airport dogs, the Beagle Brigade, they use it to find contraband, flora or fauna that is illegally entering the country. You can use this for so many things professionally. How does that relate to what our pet dogs are doing? Well, we can teach them instead to find cadavers or missing persons. We can have our dogs find things like birch oil, vanilla, any odor you like. In nose work and in performance scent dogs, the two big organizations that sponsor bigger events where your dogs can get titles in nose work, those are birch, clove, anise, and cypress. Those are the four that they're looking for. So we start first by teaching the dog that find it means I have to find something with my nose. We're not starting in nose work 1 or scent work 1 by looking for an odor. That comes later in scent 2. But what we are going to look for today is food. So the way that dogs scent works, how they use their nose to find things. They first pick up the odor with their nose. They have slits on the side of their nose, so when they're breathing in, it goes up through the nostril and it comes out through the side. So they're able to do a little bit of circular breathing here to keep odor in their nose. They also have a lot more scent receptors than we have. So because of that greater number of scent receptors and having like an in and an outdoor, they're able to process and actually use their nostrils as directionals to say, I'm picking up more odor over here. So they'll like use this as a directional and then be able to pinpoint where the odor is coming from. It doesn't follow the same way as the crow flies. The way that scent travels, it can be a little bit more broad. It might be harder for them to pick out where the origin of the odor is coming from. So you might see them walking in a grid trying to pinpoint where the odor is coming from because odor can fan, it can spread, temperature affects it, wind affects it, all of those fun things. Solana would really like to work now, so we're gonna get her into it. One thing that they might do is they might even taste the air with their tongue. There's a hole behind their front teeth called the vomeronasal organ, or Jacobson's organ if you want to win pub trivia. But while they're tasting the air with their tongue, they can push it up through that little organ and it's a shortcut to their nose. So they can actually get more information that way about the scent and what they're trying to pick up around them. That's what makes them super sniffers. And while you and I have like just a handful of scent receptors compared to a dog, while we might smell cookies baking in the oven, they can smell every ingredient and the amount of those ingredients individually within those baking cookies. So they're much better suited for this than we are. Our Jacobson's organ is vestigial, kind of like our appendix. We don't know what it does. We know that it doesn't work. So we can use these dogs to help us find things. What we're going to start doing, Bolana, come on, baby. I'm gonna first start with my dog, and this is where I want you guys to start if you don't have boxes or if you're not in the classroom. We're gonna teach them that find it means I'm gonna find food. So I'm gonna put a piece on the floor, find it, yes, good job. I might put one over there, find it, yes. Find it, yes. Find it, yes. Sit. Ready? I'm gonna use a cheese stick so you guys can see a little bit better what's going on. I'm also gonna make her go a little further. So I'll go that direction with the camera. Ready? Find it. So you can see it. She might also be using her eye to find this too. Sit. Find it. So she is tracking it visually right now. But once she understands that find it means something for her to find every time, I can now move it. Wait. Uh-oh. Back, back, back. Bolana, sit. Wait. I have it hiding behind this foot. She knows it's there, but now she has to use her nose to find it. She doesn't have a visual. She just knows it's over there. Find it. Yes. So you could hear her sniffing for the odor. So she didn't have a visual, but she knew it was there. I want to make this really easy for the dogs when they're first starting to learn Find It. Other things to keep in mind, if you're trying to make this really hard for your dog, you put something up here, it can take 20 minutes for that odor to fall and hit the ground depending on the conditions and the way the air is blowing, if you have a fan on or AC or a heater. So you want to make sure that you're not playing with height yet. We're going to get to that in a couple of weeks. We're going to use chairs and we're going to do some setups that way for you. But for now, Alana, you can use games like this to start getting them, to understand a little bit of impulse control. If you're working on manners with your dog in your home, Find it. So she followed me, but then she's gonna go back and use her nose. What I'm not going to do, I'm not gonna say find it and point to it, because dogs can understand our human pointing. So I don't really want to show her where it is. So right now, let's see if I can maybe distract her a little bit. Go over there. I'm gonna put it here. Alana, find it. She's like, oh no. So she didn't see where I put it. But she caught a whiff and she followed the odor. She was able to find it. So I didn't make it that hard, but I did put it in a spot where she couldn't see it. So if you want to start warming your dog up with some Find It games, you can also take their breakfast or dinner. Hi. This is how my dog Captain ends up finding his dinner. This is my photographer and assistant Nick. This is his dog Balana, who's just learning nose work. Find it. But my dog Captain, this is how he earns his breakfast and his dinner some nights. Find it. I'll stand in the living room and I'll throw it down a hallway. Find it. So she overshot it, it's still rolling, and she's going for it. So find it always means there's something for her to find and get. So keep that in the back of your mind while we're working on this exercise. If you want to go on to the next video, we'll go ahead and we'll show you how to do a setup in your home using things that you have to start replicating the sport of nose work.